Hi everybody, my name is Jaden.
I'm Eli.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
And we are the Yahushua and Torah YouTube channel.
And we are going over the laws, statutes, and commands of Messiah Yahushua. And we thank you guys very, very much for joining us. And we can't thank you guys enough for being part of our little family here. We do appreciate you in every way, shape, and form. And we have such a bond with so many of you guys that are out there. And our channel has a tremendous amount of subscribers, but they're only here for music videos. They're only here because they... I guess they got suckered into hearing Hebrew praise and worship music, and then they get the message, and this is the message. First and foremost, there were no J's in Hebrew, so our Messiah's name would have never been Jesus. My name is Jason. I live in a South American country. My name did not translate. There's no other translations for it. My name does not change because I moved into Spanish-speaking countries. They don't pronounce it the same way that everybody else does because there's no J's like that. And so this is something we should understand and that we should very well clear up. And, you know, we've been having some discussions with a gal recently over who is Yah, who is Yah, Yahushua, is God, Jesus. And it's very, very clear the scriptures are, there's no such scripture that ever says our Creator sent himself down and tricked us all and called him his son. Even though he's not his son, it's really him. He still calls him his son, and it doesn't work like that. That is a hoax by the Catholic Church that they put together, and it is a mess. All right, gentlemen, how you guys doing today?
Good.
Everyone all right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you guys doing today?
I'm going back to the junkyard.
Landfill. All right. I don't know if we are so poor that I don't know if I feel bad about this, but I just told the boys before we get going, if you guys find any clothes in the landfill, grab all the clothes that we have. And Cade mentions there's a lot of pillows there. I don't need the pillows, but our clothes are all in tatters and all in frays and things of this nature. And so any kind of clothing and cloth that we can get, even in the landfill, is going to be a huge blessing for us. And so hopefully we'll find some shoes in there. Hopefully we'll find some boots. Guys, all of that stuff is what we want to bring back. Stuff like that. And so we are those kind of people. Today is month 7. It is the 4th day of the week. It is the 30th day on our Creator's calendar. It is the 26th day on the Gregorian Babylonian calendar. And tonight is the new moon. Tonight is the new moon. So
Tonight you blow your shofars.
Yes, tonight you blow your shofars. So if you have not, if you do not know, we blow shofars according to a commandment, and it's actually the commandment is blow a silver trumpet. But I guess everybody has taken it to actually blow shofars, and it's a new moon, and there's other precedents inside of other scriptures to blow the shofars. So that is something we want to do and to celebrate a new month that we are in, our Creator's calendar. And so I guess that is it. Anyone else have anything out there?
No, not really.
Pretty much everything.
We almost did Youth for Y'all last night, did not make it. So, so we had some issues here, and we will attempt to next week in the Youth for Y'all in Spanish and continue to get that out. Okay, everybody, you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. And Matthew 24. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple. And his Talmudian came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Amen, I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. So a lot of people equated the temple that he was talking about himself, but he's actually talking about the temple in of itself. 70 years after after our Messiah Yahushua died on the stake, the temple was defiled. It was not even just defiled; it was run over. Jerusalem was overtaken. One of the very worst times in history of Yisrael is during this time when they basically tricked everybody into getting to Jerusalem. Then they surrounded Jerusalem, and then they did not let anybody go in or anybody go out. And so by the time they were done, they were essentially eating their children because of this. And this is very interesting because what he says right here, when he says this temple is going to be knocked down, there's not going to be one stone left. It's hard for them to understand because this has not happened yet. Okay, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the Talmudian came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world? Now, for everybody out there who has not studied this chapter before, there's a lot of things here. The Christians will run with this, and this is the Bible prophecy for Christians. They have no idea what's in the world's going on. But we have to figure this out because there's 3 questions that are asked. Number 1, tell us, when shall these things be? And he's talking about the temple being overtaken, right? Or basically the stones being knocked down. The second question is, what shall be the sign of your coming? And then the third is, what shall be the sign of the end of the world? So that's what he's going to answer here, and we have to understand what he's saying. 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. Okay, so there's a question, there's an answer of one of the questions, right? He answered that. And what question did he just answer with this?
What is the sign of your coming?
Yeah, what is the sign of your coming? And so he says, people will come in my name and saying, I am Mashiach. And we've seen that over the years. There's been so many different cults. There's been so much stuff. I mean, if you have some kind of great deception, you would look into the Catholic Church, right? The Pope himself claims that he is an ambassador to our Creator. He even speaks in the name of our Creator. That's what they do. They make rules and they write their own doctrine in that. So we got an answer to the very first one. He says we got to be very, very careful. Okay, 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, so we just ended up with another answer to the question, when will be the end of the world, right? He doesn't
rumors of wars.
Yeah, so he didn't say that's going to be the end of it, because we've lived through wars and rumors of wars for me all my life. The United States of America has always been the oppressor of the world.
They can't stop warring.
They can't stop warring, and they won't when they have a war machine like the U.S. military, right? You don't have a military-industrial complex. If there's no wars, there's no need for a giant financing of it. And one of the biggest, the United States has more military than most of the world combined, as far as what they invest into it and what they do. That being said, now all of the military people are extremely sick, and if North America ever gets attacked, the military people are all on death's door. And I'm not going to say anything other than if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you will understand why they are very, very sick. And that goes for a lot of the military across the world. But I know for a fact, North America has owned their own military. Okay, so we have some answers, right? And he says, for nation shall rise against nation. We have that. And kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, I'm not going to get into anything with pestilences. What do you guys think pestilence is exactly?
It could be a disease.
Yeah, some sort of a disease. I'm not talking the stuff that they have going on everywhere, right? I wouldn't call that a disease. I would call that normal, whatever normal stuff is.
And I don't think it's going to be man-made.
And yeah, it's not going to be a man-made, orchestrated a hoax, right? It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be real pestilences, right? Real stuff like that. So he's answering this, and he says there's going to be famines, pestilences, earthquakes, and diverse places. Now, I used to do an End Time Headlines news segment about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago now, where I was doing all of the earthquakes every single day. And we were doing about 90 to 100 massive earthquakes. And by the time I got done with it, it was like 700 or 800 per day. And there are massive amounts of earthquakes all over the world. It's in diverse places. So if we're looking for the end of the world, and for this, nation is rising against nation. But if you're saying that the Ukraine and Russian thing, everyone has to understand the entire world is theater. You do not make it to politics. You do not make it as a president. You do not make it as anything unless you are part of the world stage. the days of the rebels that, like, I guess people would say like JFK was one of the last of the rebels, if that even went down like they say it did, right? And there's just no more rebels. You are sold into the one world system. And for those who have not noticed, you don't have a local government in control anymore. We are now, since 2019, under the control of the New World Order. Every government is walking in lockstep. They are doing it all together. And so everything that you see on the news is a lie. If they're sitting there spouting stuff on the news, it's a complete lie. So some of these things, if it says, you know, like pestilences, don't get tripped up and think that we actually have pestilences around, right? We have not seen this real as of yet. Earthquakes, yes. Famines, that is another story, because they are orchestrating a famine across the world. And so Nicole says some of this won't be man-made, but the famine is going to be very real. But the famine is man-made. They've been destroying crops and chickens and turkeys and livestock and food across the world. If you guys have not seen a massive increase in food, then you're probably not out shopping a lot, because it is off the charts. And what they're doing is they are trying to get everybody to eat bugs. That is their motto. They want the slaves of the world to eat the bugs, and they want them to be zehape. And that's literally what they say. And they have cricket plants all across the world now. Literally, they're doing billions and billions and billions of crickets. They're grinding these bugs up and putting them in. Right now, they're in protein bars. They're in all this food that we never ever used to have this food in. Some of these are clean bugs, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to kill off all of the livestock and all of the actual meat, and they're trying to replace it with their kind of food. And to them, we are nothing but bottom dwellers, and we're slaves. And so the famine is coming. And so I believe we are in the end times, right? Okay, so let's continue on before I get too high on my soapbox here. 8. All of these are the beginnings of sorrows. Okay, so that's a key thing right here, right? He just said wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes, nation rising against nation, pestilences, famines. That is the beginning of the sorrows, right? So for those who believe that you are going to find this magical rapture for the bacon-eating people, it's not happening. If you're sitting there pounding down bacon bits, there's not going to be any kind of rapture. The Bible does talk about a calling away, or a what is it? What does he say? What is
catching away?
Catching away. But it doesn't. It talks more about the kingdom to come, that we have to endure to the end. And something everyone should understand: we may not all make this. If you are counting your life as your greatest asset, understand you may lose it if you want to make it into the kingdom. The people that are just letting the world dwell upon them, they can have this satanic world, but the people of the kingdom are pure people, and we are on our way. Like, we are in the beginnings of sorrows. When the famine hits in the next year to 2 years, and I've been telling everybody, if you have an opportunity to buy lentils right now, you need to buy it. When the famine hits, it's going to get real quick. And the Bible talks about a cup of flour being worth a day's wages and things of this nature. So it is coming, and we have eyes to see and ears to hear, so we got to be ready for it. So we're not here yet, but it's the beginning of the sorrows. Verse 9. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Okay? If you're looking at a world right now, what qualifies this? Are many offended in Messiah's name? Yes. Do people betray each other? Absolutely. Does one person hate another? This world is so full of hate right now. There's hardly any love whatsoever. And we try, at this channel, we try to do the very, very best we can at showing love. And when I tell you guys all that we love you and as much love, I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. It doesn't matter what skin color you are. It doesn't matter if you live in a dumpster. It doesn't matter where you are. We love you guys, and that is what, there's so much negativity and so much hate out there that it's rare that you find people that love, that do this. And so that is what we attempt to do, and sometimes we fail. Sometimes people come across and yell at us and do very nasty things, and I do very nasty things back, and I should not do that. It's a work in progress. Okay. 10. And then you shall be offended, and shall one and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. And the transgression of the Torah shall abound. The love of many shall wax cold. Okay, so when it says the transgression of the Torah shall abound, if we're looking for things that say, are we in the end times, would you guys think we're in the end times?
Yeah,
no one is
I
following
mean,
Torah.
how many people are really following Torah?
And yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, is how many will actually change your life. To keep the Torah, it's not a set and forget. It's not a raise your hand at 8 years old and you can once you're saved, you're always saved. There is no place in the Bible the once saved, always saved doctrine exists. In fact, it goes against that many times. There are ways. In fact, Messiah Yahushua in Matthew 7 says you can be told to kick rocks and get out because you do not keep the Torah. So here we are. Many of these things have happened. We have many false prophets. We got those guys on YouTube. We got that girl, Celeste, whatever. We have Jonathan Kahn.
Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen. All of them, yeah. They're all. I mean, they're all false, evil Satanists. And sometimes those are hard words to hear when you call someone a Satanist. They're like, I'm not a Satanist. I don't drink the blood of kids. If you're going against the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator, by default, you are working the works of Satan. So that makes you a Satanist, whether or not those are hard words or not. Okay, 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. None of this says a rapture's coming. None of this says that, okay, it's all going to be good. He who endures to the end will be saved. That's dead or alive, friends. If you guys don't understand what he's saying here, you have to endure to the end, and whether or not you are enduring with your head being lopped off, if they come to that and the heads roll, that's what you have to smile and understand. We're going to lose our physical bodies. We may lose our lives. That is just what it comes happening. Look at all the prophets of old. There's not really a prophet of old that died a good natural death. Everybody got slaughtered. Everyone died. That's just what the people do. They kill the prophets and they kill the people of Yah. 14. And this Besorah, the good news of the kingdom, shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Many people are like, well, there's a jungle out in the middle of somewhere that somebody has never heard the good news, and so the end will not come. But the thing is, we've been in a world right now where there's Bibles everywhere. Even if you're in a little itty-bitty tiny jungle out in the middle of nowhere, at some point you're going to venture into somewhere that someone would have a Bible. You have had this opportunity. So if we're waiting for the final people who've never ever heard it to hear it, I don't think that is what he's saying. 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso reads, let him understand. Then let them which be in Yahud flee unto the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Everybody says this is modern day. They're saying, okay, this is what's going to happen. And they believe, this is what the Christians believe, guys. The Christians believe that they're going to set up a third temple right now, and that these people that are not Yah-abiding people, right? The people that set up the temple in Jerusalem, my friends, are Satanists. They are Satanists because they keep the Kabbalah, they keep the Zohar, they keep the Talmud. They do not keep the Torah. By default, they're Satanists. So everybody's like, well, this is about the Antichrist. This is not about the Antichrist. The desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet has come and it went. It happened in 70 AD. It is gone, right? And he says, then let them which be in Yahud flee to the mountains, right? If you were in Jerusalem around 70 AD, you should have run for your life, and you should not have stayed in Jerusalem. You should have not been there. If you were at the top of your housetop, which, guys, nobody lives on top of their houses anymore. This is talking about back in the day. He says, if you're on your housetop, don't go back into your house. Jump off your housetop and run to the hills, right? If you have clothes, right, It says, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Everyone's gonna be like, holy cow, I gotta go get my clothes, I gotta go get my stuff, I gotta go get my something I love, right? It's already happened. They surrounded Jerusalem. They sat there and starved them out, and they killed them all. And then he continues on, 19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. People are like, oh, this is it. When Israel builds the temple, the Antichrist is going to come in and slaughter on the temple, then everything's going to be destroyed, and you should run away from Israel at that point. This is not talking about them. It was talking about the women that had children, and in that time, in 70 AD, they literally filleted their children. Women sold off their children, and they ate their children, and other people tried to protect their children. They literally ate the children because there was no food left, and that is what they were surviving themselves by eating their children, and this was all prophesied before. Yah said you would eat your children, literally. But he didn't say it as a commandment. Don't eat your children. There's psychopaths out there like, well, your creator wants you to eat your children. No, you're just bad at reading. Okay, 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Shabbat. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, never, ever shall be. So these were crazy, right? And 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay, this is not talking about now, right? Does everyone understand this? Is everyone with me? Yep. Okay, this is stuff. He's predicting stuff that would happen 70 years after he was gone. 23. That if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Mashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Mashiachim and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, so much so that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Okay, what do you guys think? Here's something I think. You know, the signs and wonders, I believe they've done this with a television box. I don't think they need to do anything more than a television box, right? They put a TV box in your room, in your house, and you believe everything the bobbing head ding-dongs on the TV say, right? If they say, well, X amount of people died here, or this, that, you know, you're like, oh man, we should all stay in our house. We should all do all this. There's some great things going on, right? It's all lies. Everything that we know of that is on the TV is a lie. And so if you're looking for great signs and wonders, if you would have taken a TV back to the days of Messiah Yahushua and put it on and flipped it on, people would have run for their lives. They would have thought it was some sort of witchcraft. They hadn't seen electricity. They hadn't seen a man in a box. They would have looked in the box, tried to figure out who's in the box. How did these small people get in this?
How did you get in there?
Yeah, this would have been new school witchcraft. So if you are believing everything that you see on the TV, and that is your news, you are going to be completely deceived. And so you gotta clear that TV off. 25. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth, because he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Or behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as lightning comes out of the east and shines even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the son of Adam be. Okay, what does that mean? When the son of Adam comes, what's it going to be like?
I guess it's going to be like lightning. It's going to be really fast, but it starts in the east and head towards west.
Yeah, but it's going to be, I mean, well, that's where the sun shines. I mean, everything comes from the east. And I mean, it's going to be as he says, and shines from the east to the west. The coming of the son of Adam, Yahushua, is going to be very quick. It's going to be, here, behold, here it is, and it's, the people are going to be shocked when this happens. 28. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered also.
That's vultures. The vultures.
Yeah, the vultures. Yeah, that's not eagles. That's definitely vultures. Huge difference. Okay, 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Okay, I believe this is the end times right here. I think he's shifting off into answering some more questions, right? The thing about this is when they ask 3 questions, he's answering all 3 of these in a whole bunch of different ways. So we have not seen the sun is darkened. We've seen an eclipse. We've seen it eclipse. It goes dark for a little bit. And it says the moon shall not give her light. Now, we haven't seen that before. We haven't seen the sun darken. And we have not seen the stars falling from heaven. We see a star, a falling star, but we have not seen stars falling from heaven. We don't see wormwood. We don't see destruction like it talks about, and where rivers are polluted and things of that nature. So we don't see any of this stuff yet. So we're still not there. 30. And then shall appear the sign of the son of Adam in the heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the son of Adam coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Now, why are the tribes of the earth mourning when our king is here?
Because they realize they've done wrong. They realize they were not in covenant with Yah.
Yeah, and so, and then all the people of the earth, tribes of the land, they've realized they're on the wrong side, and all of a sudden the hoax, the invisible guy in the sky, and all the stuff they've laughed at all their time, all of a sudden it's going to get real, and they gotta get right with Yah if they haven't already. Okay, 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a shofar, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Okay, this sounds to me like a second Exodus, right? This sounds to me like when Messiah Yahushua comes, bam, the world is going to see this, and then all of a sudden, the Exodus is going to begin. And we have a commandment about messengers. What is the commandment about messengers?
We're going to listen to the messengers that Yahuwah sends before us.
Yes, listen to the messengers that Yahuwah sends before us. Because this is the time in 24:31 when the messengers are going to come and grab you by the hand, and they're probably going to be pulling us out of just the end time apocalyptic movie scene that you can envision at your house, right? Whatever's going to be happening, I believe we're going to be saved at the nick of time. And again, most of us probably won't be saved. A lot of us, I don't even know if this is my generation or next generation. I do not think the world has more than a decade or so left. I don't think there'll be anyone left. They'll all be dead. 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and puts forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Okay, so he's basically telling us what we need to look for, right? And he says it's like a fig tree. When you see the branch is tender and puts forth leaves, you know that summer's nigh. Right. And so likewise, he says, listen, you shall see all these things and know that it is near, even at the door. At the doors. Amen. I say unto you, this nation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Okay.
You say nation or generation?
It says this nation.
Mine says generation. This generation.
Yeah, so yours says this generation will not pass until all these things have happened. So right there, a lot of this stuff that people have said, well, that's the thing. That generation, like the 70 AD and all of this destruction, that would have still been in that generation. So this is hard. These are hard chapters to get through because you don't know if it's past tense, in the future, or where it is. So we have to just study and see and be ready. That's the thing. We have to be ready. Okay. 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knows no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Here's a Trinity buster. If Messiah Yahushua knew the day and hour, right here he would be a liar, right? He would be a liar. So you either have to accept a liar for a Messiah, and they basically would be liars that came and told us not to tell lies, right? Do as I say, but not as I do. I will trick you, and I will send myself as my son, but it's really me, and then you're going to be all confused. And the scriptures never, ever, ever say Messiah Yahushua, Jesus the Christ, is Yah, God. It doesn't. So only the Father knows. 37. But as the days of Noach were, so shall also the coming of the son of Adam be. Okay, I can't get anything here on YouTube. I refuse to have my channel banned because I could certainly say things right here and I would be gone before you guys probably ever had the ability to listen to this. So we are in the days of Noach. Without a shadow of a doubt, I cannot say anything on YouTube, but it came and it went. Starting in 2019, we are officially in the days of Noah. So people need to be ready. The son of Adam is on his way. He may at this point actually know when it is because his pop's father, Abba, might have told him, say, son, you're about to go raise the roof. Okay? 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the son of Adam be. Again, these are more dire warnings. We are here. We are here. You need to live your life squeaky clean. You need to put away evil. You need to not be involved in evil. You need to get your family in order. You need to get your kids in order. You need to get your life in order. Are you reading the Torah every day? Are you in Yah's word? Are you seeking him at every last moment? Are you writing this on the doorpost of your house and binding it on the frontlets of your eyes? Is this your world? Because if this is not your world, this will slip away before you ever have a chance to make it your world. We are told this. We are told over and over and over, be ready. 40. Then shall two be in the field. The one shall be taken and the other left. This is what the Christians go with as far as the rapture. This is the rapture right here, right? We're going to get raptured. One of us is out there eating bacon bits, and that one eating bacon bits is raptured because Jesus made all food clean. And again, I'm joking. I'm laughing at the Christians because he doesn't say that, right? So what do we make of this? Two women will be grinding in one mill, one will be taken, the other left. Isn't this the one where the king puts two guys together?
Yeah, in like a bed or something.
It's in Luke.
Oh, it's in Luke. Yeah, the king really gets crazy, and the Sodomites have gone crazy because he goes, oh, look, there's two men in a bed. That's okay. And absolutely, that is not okay. Okay, so what do you guys make of this, real quick?
So basically, I think one person was being good and one person was disobeying the commands.
Well, we have this all in context, right? We have this all in context. He says that just like the sun, like lightning will come, it'll be the son of Adam, and then he says the angels are going to be coming and taking them, right? This angels could certainly, you could be out in a field and your angels could go, hey, we're going over to New Jerusalem. We are going to Mount Zion. Are you ready? Let's go.
The people that aren't in covenant might not see.
Yeah, might not see him. It may not see him at all. The dude bends over to do some weeding or something and looks back up.
You're gone.
Everyone's gone. What the world? And it's not going to be everyone, right? Because there's not a lot. Okay, 41. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. The one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Adonai comes. Again, another warning. Be ready. But know this, that if the goodman of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the son of Adam comes. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Adonai has made ruler over his household, to give them food in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Adonai, when he comes, shall find so doing. What is he saying here, gentlemen?
Blessed is a person who stays diligent in the Bible, who doesn't sleep, and spiritually, who's not letting his soul be taken away by not watching what is going on, by not keeping the faith in Messiah.
If you're not watching, you don't care. That's the bottom line. You're comfortable with where your dwellings are. If you are not concerned about the future, then you're not watching and you don't care. Okay. 46. Or was it 47? Amen, I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Adonai delays his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Adonai of that servant shall come in that day when he looks not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Or we hear that again. There's a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Does anybody want to be weeping and gnashing of teeth?
No, not really.
Sounds not so good, huh? All right, so what do you guys take out of this? What's your final take?
The final part there, he basically, if you stop watching, you're doing good, and you're following the Torah, and then you all of a sudden he's not coming yet. I don't have to follow the Torah right now. And when he comes back, I'll be following it, and you stop following it, and he comes back when you're not following the Torah, and you will be punished. You are not going to be taken.
And this is contrary to what Christianity says. They don't keep the Torah. They don't have to in their religion, right? They're saved by something. I don't know what they're saved by. They're saved by grace, I guess. That's all they have is grace. And if Yah decides that they had a lifetime of keeping Torah and they chose the grace method, it's dangerous. And so the laws of our Creator are good for all times. They are good for everything. They're good for every member of your family, and they will keep you alive, and they will bless you. Or they will
curse you.
Curse you. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you guys very, very much. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Much love to our family out there.
I'll blow your shofars tonight.
Blow your shofars tonight, guys. That's it.
All right.
Shalom.